Hi fellas, Ben back again with my dear friend Sandeep's 411, the scrambler that runs the XL rims. Unbelievable, huh? What a beautiful machine. Yeah, so he rode this fella, Ben, and he was mighty pleased with the suspension. He wanted to get the job done. So I asked him to bring it over, and I've started work on his shocks. He runs a complete YSS, all the internals. That is the YSS spring, the YSS oil, the fork emulator from YSS, the entire kit from YSS. He runs the entire kit from YSS, and he also has this beautiful. I so wish I had gotten this as well. It's the preload adjuster from YSS, and I wish I had that on Ben as well. But any which ways, no problems. We can get it some other day. So his is a complete YSS kit, YSS front fork, and it's a beautiful dampening fork. I mean, it's just ideal. It's perfect. But if you were to do jumps, like serious jumps, whoops, again, the whole idea behind me stiffening the front forks is not a straightforward approach. You need to know what to do, how to go about doing it. Sandeep weighs about 10 kilos more than me, so I can definitely go about, and he only rides solo, so I can definitely go about tweaking his forks like mine and lift the front end. The whole idea was to lift the front end, make the forks a lot more stiffer, so that he could also do what I do with my beloved Ben. And yeah, so I just got done with the job. I swapped out his YSS spacer with the factory spacer. The factory spacer is slightly larger. I swapped out the oil, YSS oil, with the 20 weight Maxima to slow down rebound damping. And what else did I do? And yeah, that was it. That's all that I did. I swapped out the oil. I took the oil to a certain level, depending on how he would like it. And I also swapped out the spacer. This particular spacer from YSS is slightly smaller, so I went in with the stock factory larger spacer. The spacer from the Royal Enfield Himalayan is about 1 inch taller. So I put in that, and then I also what did I do? I worked on the preload adjuster. I brought it out by 4 turns, so 4 turns sticking out. And yeah, that's it. That's all that I've done to the front. The rear, what I did was he also has, just like me, he also runs a YSS shock on the rear. What I did was I increased the this is an adjustable shock, so I got, if you guys can see those threads sticking out, I lifted the shock. I increased the length of the shock by about 1 centimeter. That would give us a considerable difference in the ground clearance, and by 1 centimeter. This allows for a 1 centimeter height adjust, this particular shock from YSS, and I did that. I also worked on the sag. I went hard on the preload, is because it was too soft from factory. It wasn't even right for my weight. It was a plush ride, but now it's so much more stiff, and has given us a nice, the seat has gone up. The seat has gone up, the ground clearance would have definitely gone up. Now when I throw the forks back on, this bloody thing will be as tall as Ben, or if not taller. Why? It's because this is a lighter motorcycle, lighter by at least 10 plus kilos. Because what Sandeep doesn't have, that Ben has, is Ben has this entire tail unit, this rack, plus a top rack, and the bag, which has goodies in it. Everything put together would easily be about 7-8 kilos. And then Ben also has this beefy SW Motec engine guard, super hard, super beefy skid plate. The factory skid plate is about 400-500 grams. That's nothing. Then Sandeep's engine guard is also Royal Enfield's what do you call it, short engine guard. Again, weighs nothing. It's just it's mild steel. It weighs nothing. So in comparison, this would easily be a weight savings of 10 kilos on Ben. So this will definitely sit higher compared to Ben. Also, Sandeep runs a larger diameter tire on the rear. This thing is a 130/90 whereas mine is a this would be a 120/80. That's a 120/80 Ralco motocross. Sandeep runs a 130/90 Timson TS 820, and this thing is bonkers. This thing is the right combination of stability and traction at the same time on off-road terrain. It's a beautiful double sub, has a beautiful road tire as well, 50/50, proper 50/50. So yeah, the tire would weigh just a little bit more, but rims wise, both our rims are almost the same weight. Guys, if you do not know this, let me clarify. These rims from RCB, these are dedicated off-road rims, 7000 series aluminum, and somehow these are world class. So much more hardy than these fellas. These fellas are nothing compared to. These are also XL aluminum rims, but they're not purpose-built aluminum rims to take on all kinds of things. Plenty of complaints already, reports of rims bending, mild hit with lack of air. The whole thing is attributed to not keeping an eye on the air pressure. So mild hits causing bends on the rim. So just saying, this is nothing. This is slightly better. This is XL Asia. This is not XL Takasago. What do you call it? Signature. Very different from Signature. Signature is what you need to get if you're a hardcore off-road person. And if you can't afford XL Signature, please go in with RCB, Racing Boy 7000 series aluminum rims. These are ass-kickingly good. And Ben has seen more rocks than anything else. So I can vouch for the quality. And yeah, so that's that. So that's all that I did to the front and the rear, lifting the bike and also making it a lot more attack ready. Well, if this video inspired you guys to work on your Himalayans as well and not letting go of these beautiful slim mass machines and the tractor factor, then hold on to these fellas. These fellas will be very soon appreciated all over the world for its authentic nature. I'll talk to you about what makes a 411 much more special than the 450. Done. Got both fellas to lift up the exact same way. Sandeep's machine and my machine are identical settings now. As far as suspension goes, the exact same preload setting, the exact same amount of oil, the exact same. No, the only thing that's different is the valve emulator. Mine, I have gone ahead with a little more of preload on the valve emulator just to take on sudden rocky hits, which if I were to introduce on Sandeep's bike, he will feel that the front is a tad bit more twitchy. So kept that aside. His valve emulator is at a certain setting, mine is at a different setting, but everything else, the rear shock, the setting on the rear shock, everything else is the same. The front end of the machines are identical as far as height is concerned. They are identical. Sandeep's lean angle and my lean angle almost the same. So yeah, the front height is almost the same, but the rear is going to be a surprise. You better check this out. The rear Sandeep's tail sits at a height of an inch more than mine, only because of the Ralco motocross. It's a smaller tire, shorter profile, 120/80. That would be 130/90. So there's a huge difference in side profile, and that pulls the rear end higher. Ground clearance wise, Sandeep's is slightly more than mine, about 8 millimeters, I believe. So that would roughly make it 220 plus 250, almost 255 millimeters of ground clearance on that fella. 248 millimeters of ground clearance on this fella. And yeah, that's that. Look at these beauties together. We've been friends for a long time now, and just look at his machine. Just look at this. I love to see these 411s go neck to neck. Unbelievable. His bike doesn't have a tech cam, but has pretty much everything else. He runs a free flow bend pipe, and this adds to the top end, the whack open throttle business. makes it really nice on that. Whereas I don't have a free flow. I have the stock factory bent pipe, which came along with the BS4, and that's a little bit of a restriction. That is the restriction. Not exactly a healthy thing for off-road business. Sorry, on-road track business. But off-road it works, so I don't really have a problem. I may be changing it sometime soon. If you guys look at that. When you design a free flow, look at the header pipe. Whereas when you want to design something like a highly restrictive system, look at that bend, look at that turn in direction so quickly. Whereas that allows for a much better, what do you call it, scavenging. It allows for much better exit of the exhaust gases. So yeah, my his exhaust valve will live longer than mine. Yeah, a lot to be discussed, but crazy ass machines. They both sit at the same height, almost the same height, and his is considerably lighter. So yeah, feels so much more aggressive. Same handlebars, same setup. Pretty much everything is same. There's a lot more of goodies on mine which Sandeep doesn't have, but he will slowly build it up. Knowing him, I know that he will not rest in peace unless he gets his bike to be like mine. So very happy to have a friend who has the same attitude and who builds bikes the same way. Anyway, so if this helped in some way, it helped. Even if it was just inspiration to keep your 411s in good nick, in good condition, so be it. I'm very happy to contribute. Please take care of these beauties. They are priceless. They are irreplaceable, fantastic machines. Yeah, Ben signing out for now. Ciao.